Hey, good morning and welcome to another edition of the Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Eric Cedarstrom, former CEO, shipping clerk and janitor, now senior account representative of this great company. This company, Patriot Trading Group, one of the longest-running financial broadcasts in America today. Laughed at, chastised, poked fun at. People say, listen to these people, they're crazy. But now the entire world has beat a path to our front door. Our online numbers are setting records. And why shouldn't they be? You know, even a clock that doesn't work is right twice a day, but nevertheless, the world has just gone absolutely insane. This show broadcasts around the world. You can go to allamericangold.com. You can go to YouTube, go to Patriot Trading Group. You can listen to podcasts everywhere. Heavily downloaded now. The Internet's been running slow for a while with all the people being at home. And you can head out to allamericangold.com, which is updated daily with news and pricing. Pay no attention to the little Kitco bug that's on the top of our screen. If you look at the real price of gold today is incredible at what's happening. But first, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want everybody to take a deep breath and relax. The new CEO, nephew, president, he's bearing the brunt of all this, running the and being responsible for keeping all the balls in the air is starting to wear on him. And he looked really young yesterday. Today, he's getting a little old. How you doing, kid? Joe Jaquin, how you doing?
Hey, Eric. Hanging in there. What a crazy market. All these things going out. We don't even know there's going to be, allegedly, some kind of stimulus today. Trillions and trillions and trillions. And I will tell you this, it will not be enough. All the markets are just frozen, locked up. Home equity lines and refinances and all those. Yeah, you can forget about all of those. You probably got somewhere between 10 and 30 million people that are not going to make a mortgage or a rent payment here in a couple of days. The gold markets have absolutely gone crazy. The April contract, which is the contract that is currently being traded.
All gold price. Go anywhere. Go to CNBC. Go to Market Watch. Go to Fox News. This is the gold market that's trading.
Yeah. Gold's up another $90 here, just under $1,660 to the ounce, up $80 yesterday.
Silver? What's silver?
Silver's at 14 and change, up a little over 75 cents on silver. So you think about silver, silver going back to Friday was $11 and change. Now it's $14 and change and on its way to a whole lot higher, but London has stopped delivering physical metal. New York has stopped delivering physical metal, and those are when you think about it, there's the three big exchanges: New York, London, and Shanghai, and 2 out of the 3 aren't even delivering right now.
And all the mints have shut down. They're not taking any orders. The U.S. Mint's not taking them. Canada's not taking. We've looked everywhere, so we're doing the best we can. Let me try to explain this to people so you understand what's happening. The price of unleaded gas in New York on the exchange is the ticker bug is RBOB, RBOB. Right now, this is unleaded gas. This is what you use to start your car. This is what you use, for energy. This is to move, things around the country. This is the price of unleaded gas today at 51 cents a gallon. I defy you to find it anywhere in this town for less than $2. It might be LB done, but it's $2.30 is the average. Now, if you actually want to start your car, you can't take the little futures contract that you're trading on your computer or your E-Trade account. And by the way, there is liquidity problems with these online trading companies, people trying to get their funds out to buy gold, and they're not turning them loose. So I don't know, we'll have to keep an eye on that situation as well. So you got 51 cents a gallon unleaded gas. But the real thing is different. So now you've got gold up another $100 for all essential purposes, trading at $1,650. But this, again, this is paper gold. This is click-in. This is not fabricated. This is not refined. This is not hallmarked. The U.S. Mint, I don't think they're anywhere on the exchange markets today is an ounce of gold for under $2,000. Anywhere.
No.
But again, they're the gas stations. Okay, we're the gas station. Do you understand? This is the gas station. If you want real gold, you want to put it in your hand, you want to protect your family, you want to sleep better at night, you want it put away, that's not a receipt, that's not GLD, this is not something that you can click and sell that they can shut down and exchange on. Once you have it, you have it. It's over $2,000 in this country today. On its way to 20 is my personal belief. There's no reason to stop it. Now, I'm not calling for economic Armageddon. What I'm calling for is quite the opposite. I'm calling for the roaring 20s. The roaring 20s based on fiat floating debt money. It'll be the final blow. In the 1920s, the roaring 20s, everything crashed in 29, and that was that. This time it's going to go the other way. It's going to go hyperinflated, debt-laden currency. It's going to go Argentina, Brazil. The price of everything is going to skyrocket as everything comes back online. Everything's going to come back online. It's going to take a while. And the president is gambling. And he's saying, well, you know what? I gave you my 15 days, and that's it. He wants to turn everything back on. If we lose 20 million, if we lose 30 million, 40 million people to the coronavirus, that's probably it for him.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to win come November.
That's probably it for him. I have to tell you something. Never say in your life, never say what you won't do, ever. Because, I quit going to Walmart years ago, but today is senior day at Walmart. I got carded. I got up this morning at 5:15. I got in line at about 5:45 because if you're 60 and over, you can go to Walmart. So, and I didn't.
An hour before everybody
before everybody else. So I'm like, well, how many people can be there? This is in the North Valley, Carefree Highway and Cave Creek Road. I got there at quarter till, and there was 100 people in line.
Right, yeah. Not necessarily an area known for population density by any stretch of the imagination.
No. This is out in the sticks. So, anyway, I did it. Talk about that. Everybody take a deep breath. We're going to help you make the right decisions. We'll be back.
By now the fighting will be close at hand.
Mike and the Mechanics, man, that song I've been playing since we did shortwave in the 90s at Viking International Trading. Where that came from. Been doing this a long time. You're listening to the Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Eric Cedarstrom along with Joe Jaquan. Our toll-free number here is 1-800-951-0592. I'd like to thank our producers, Ramon here at 1010 KXXT, American Family Values Radio, for braving the coronavirus, and Jason at the station where I am general manager, 1360KHNC.com, the roar of the Rockies. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy days. But again, you might be a captive audience here, so because you got nowhere else to go. Everything's kind of locked down. And I was talking about I stood in line at Walmart and just got basics. I've done no panic buying. I didn't need to because we had everything, but my daughters did not. So I'm trying to help them and keep that up. But, listening to yesterday when I left yesterday, by the way, we had a record day here yesterday and another one today shaping up. And we're going to stay calm. We're going to help you make the right decisions. We're going to try to hypothesize a world gone mad here, formulate a plan of attack, help you get things put away. And let's hope you really don't need them. That we'll be able to get through this. But economically speaking, we're facing a tectonic shift in this nation, probably one of the final blows for the debt-laden Federal Reserve note. But, listening to the press conference, and the President of the United States is just doing the best he can. There's never been a president hold press conferences every day. Never. You get, even back, to the Great Depression, you have nothing to fear but fear itself. He did one press conference in 6 months, FDR. Granted, he had his own health issues, but the press today, who are these people? Miserable, nasty, just miserable. And I realize, when Walter Cronkite said something to me when I was a child and my parents, Walter Cronkite said it, for the most part, everybody believed it. And the ABC, NBC, CBS, when you just had the three stations. Now, you know what these people are? They're all internet news sites with press credentials. They're nobody. They're nothing. They just can't wait to step over themselves to get a headline for their 15 minutes of fame and their $40,000 a year job with their $300,000 in student loan that Joe told me during the break is what they all have. They want to get forgive. They want to get handed out. These are the press today, and you can't believe anything. I got to tell you, Drudge Report, where I generally for years considered to be a good source of news, they're National Enquirer. I think Matt Drudge must hate the president all of a sudden, but this has been horrible. Half the things they put on their site is just to grab headlines, and it's just been horrible. So we're here, And at the American Freedom Network as well, 1360khnc.com. We're working to get just the facts out to you. We want to be your news source when we get through this, and we will get through this. But when you stick your head up out of the foxhole here, things are going to look a lot different. So you've got, they got FEMA going today. FEMA, they just announced this a minute ago. They're going to use the Defense Production Act for the first time ever here in the United States. So, and I guess what that is goes with the Emergency Wartime Act, where they can convert businesses into...
Correct. And the Stafford Act, all of those are included. It allows to put FEMA out everywhere. You could actually, if need be, the president could go to Tesla or to GM or to 3M and say, hey, you need to take this factory that was making X and start making Y. That's the Production Act. You could force companies, manufacturers, to help in a crisis, whether it be to make ventilators or masks or any of those things. Hasn't had to do that yet. A lot of these companies are voluntarily saying, hey, if we can help out, we'll absolutely do it. But yeah, so the Production Act, the Stafford Act, and all these other acts just allowing for whether it be streamlining FDA to try to get a cure for this thing or a vaccine for this thing, or whether it to be to put FEMA out there or National Guard troops or federal troops. Also gives the power to tell factories, hey, starting today you make sanitizer, and starting today you make ventilators, and you over there you're going to make masks. But that part hasn't come to fruition yet.
Well, now you got Nancy Pelosi that killed everything, and I mean what they're trying to throw in. They're trying to dictate diversity on all corporate boards. Did you see that? I mean, they wanted to forgive all student debt, but then they said, okay, 30,000.
Yeah, all these things.
Fuel emissions. I mean, open the borders. They want to do the whole new Green Deal. They threw all this in. I personally, I hope I'm wrong, but I think that by the end of the day, I still don't think there's going to be a deal. So, and the markets are going to hate it. They're just going to hate it. So, but again, ultimately there will be. Somebody's going to have to blink and make this go. But the press conference, I listened to Nancy Pelosi, and she's just, it's like, did she hear herself speak? I mean, most of it is just, just garble, but this shouldn't be. I had said something, and I hated Joe, and Joe looked at me. I said that Donald Trump is not going to face a conservative problem and a liberal problem. And I did say this on the air. And I said he's going to have to confront an American problem, which everybody is going to have to pick a side.
Yeah.
So, and I said this a couple of years ago.
There's a lot more have-nots, though. That's the problem.
Right. That is the problem.
A lot more have-nots. Listen, how about all these kids getting ready to graduate from college? Right? There's no jobs out there for them all of a sudden. They're gone.
Nothing.
How about 10 to 30 million people not going to pay the rent or their mortgage payment here? What does that do? Next week. Right?
Well,
all of these things, and you start thinking about all the student loans and all these things, right? These reporters with all, these nasty reporters with all their debts and all these things. And this is what they're trying to do, right? As far as gold and silver go, the bigger the better, right? The $2 trillion, $3 trillion, $4 trillion. Central bank, let's just print hundreds of billions of dollars every single day, trillions and trillions and trillions
right.
of dollars, and there's no end in sight.
This is it, by the way. I mean, if you were ever thinking about doing it, you got to get moving. And I've had people trying to do their IRAs and stuff. Nobody's answering the phones.
Right.
They're all shut down. The COVID virus, and there's a new word. If you're hoarding things, there's a new word. It's called a Covidiot. So don't be a Covidiot. And anyway, back in the Great Depression, we were in the "Hey buddy, can you spare a dime?" But today it's "Hey buddy, can you spare a square?" So the
little toilet paper.
That's where everybody went when the doors opened at Walmart.
Toilet paper.
It's so weird. Great Depression, you didn't have anything. You didn't have, you couldn't even get tires. So, all housewares and da-da-da. But, nobody goes there. They all went there. I thought it was interesting. So, they canceled the Olympics, except, I don't know why they do it. They're still, so the Tokyo Olympics are done, but the 100-yard paper towel dash is still in. So you can apparently get awards. Sanders wants to give $2,000 per month to households during this.
Well, this is the thing. How long is the shutdown going to go, right? You can hear the president saying, right, because he gets it. Wait a minute. If we're going to shut down all of April, too, all of a sudden, right, well, everyone needs another 2.5–3 trillion.
Right.
We're going to shut down May. We need another 2.5–3 trillion. You start doing the math. Next thing you know, all of a sudden, we're not talking about $30 trillion of debt. We're talking about $50 and $60 trillion of debt. And where does it end?
Cuomo's going nuts, just absolutely off the rails. He was acting kind of normal for a while.
Let me tell you right now, Cuomo and him have been getting along. Of course, for those of you who don't know, Cuomo, the governor of New York, him and Trump were playing nice with each other. And then, of course, the president now trying to push for, he wants to restart the country come next week. Right? Let's get going.
Do the 15 days.
Right. We did 15 days. Let's just go back to work.
Cuomo says we're not going to sacrifice 2% of our population for business. That's what he said here just a little bit ago.
For the economy.
Now, if we are at war, okay, and if you understand the idea of war and the articles of war and what they do, when generals sit down and they planned out, D-Day, they understood there would be casualties. And just about any type, unless you've got guys that are just absolutely nuts at the top, they understand the risk-reward ratio. So, I don't know. You can't shut the country down. You just can't do it. I mean, things are already running out. And, nobody wants to talk about it, especially the 60 and over people this morning. And everybody generally in good spirits at 60 and over. Very nervous. Half the people have masks and gloves on. The other half, everybody just kind of keeps themselves. People try to keep their social distancing this morning. But the people are, pretty much... I kept hearing over and over. I heard a half a dozen times, I can't believe we're doing this,
Right.
Getting in line to go shopping
Waiting
in the morning.
In line
right?
to go shopping. This is what happens in communist countries.
Right.
Not in America. We were at Walmart last night. There's no meat in the meat department. There's no meat at all.
There's the expensive things still are there, and no dog food.
No dog food, right? No canned food. And I'm like, sooner or later you'd think we'd catch up a little bit. Doesn't look like it.
There were some grass-fed filet mignons there, expensive. But is it?
Right.
Is it?
So they have no idea. Most of you listen, and I know a lot of you get it, but wait till you see it. This is the type of debt that we're talking about. The world has never even seen anything remotely close to this. You think about the all-time record high debt for 1 year, and I'm talking about the little number. That was with Obama. We had wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and all the banks were going out of business, and we went $1.2 trillion into debt. We're talking about, we don't even know what the final number is going to be, but we're talking about somewhere in the vicinity of $4 trillion, and heaven forbid we decide to shut down April, then let's just call it $7 trillion.
Then you get to, if you go back, they studied 2008, and Neil Kashkari, who handed out the TARP money, we talked about this yesterday, but he was on 60 Minutes Sunday night saying, we're just printing all the money we have, so don't worry, if you want cash, go and get it. And then the electronic money is very easy to do, so... But, there's no limit. And there isn't. They have to, keep something up and running, and because of electronic money, but it isn't what our forefathers wanted.
I'm going to tell you right now, there's no amount of money that can fix the problem of there's no money coming in, and you can't pay your bills. Ford, no money coming in. General Motors, no money coming in. American, Delta, United, Southwest Airlines, Boeing, no money coming in. The oil companies, no money coming in. You cannot fix no money coming in when you've got to make debt payments. Then you take 10, 20, 30, 40 million Americans with no money coming in. You can't fix that. And that's the thing. Everyone's hoping interest rates are going to fall and do all. They're not going to fall because nobody has money to make the payments.
Well, that's a big issue here, and that's, again, we always talked about when things get out of hand, and that is where they lower interest rates and it goes the other way, which is what happened. So, I don't know. Where's the 10-year at today,
Joe? Like the 10-year note, the Treasury market, it's at 0.9.
Okay.
Right? Almost at 1%. You remember a week ago, it got down to like 0.3, but that's gone. What you need to focus in on, though, what's the mortgage market doing? What's the investment grade debt market doing? What's the junk bond market doing? All of these yields are going the other way because nobody actually believes that these companies are going to be able to pay their bills.
Right. So they have to pay the freight, and that's what the government's trying to make them not do. Right. They're like, well, okay, you want to issue? I'll tell you another thing: the municipal bonds in this country. I mean, you look at the pension funds for the police and fire, the public safety pension funds.
The drop in revenue to these municipalities is record-breaking.
Yeah,
this
it's unbelievable.
Is record-breaking.
Think of the tax receipts that are just falling apart. So, how do you fix it now that the president says, "Well, we could tell." I could tell. Joe and I were listening to him yesterday, going, "He's going to open up the country 15 days from now." So, day 8.
Yeah,
so what do we got? Today's day 9.
Monday. We're focusing on Monday. Monday morning would be
day 15.
Would be day 15.
Today's day 9. Yeah, okay. So he's going to do it. I mean, he said he'd listen to other people, but he doesn't have a choice. Is there any choice, Joe, that you could imagine? I mean, everybody's going to hunker down, so you get 1,000. Remember, as I started saying, Neil Kashkari, they gave everybody a check, George Bush, for $600. They figured that would fix it. It didn't do anything. Nothing. 1,000 won't help. 2,000 won't help. 25,000 might. But then everybody would want to go out to dinner. So then they can't do that. So I don't know. You're listening to Patriot Radio News Hour in unprecedented times. We'll be back. It's halftime. Stay with us.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, a daily broadcast from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. And we're upholding the legacy of Phyllis Schlafly, a constitutional attorney and articulate voice for traditional values for more than 70 years. Now, here's the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
Nobody denies that there's an achievement gap between black and white students in our public schools. It isn't partisan to want to find a solution to this problem, by the way. Where parties do differ is what solution we should embrace. Liberals, predictably, want to throw an unending stream of money at the problem in the hopes that our underprivileged students will have what they need to learn more. Conservatives believe we need to foster strong families and eliminate the waste of taxpayer funds that plagues our nation's schools. Both of these two distinct visions are held by millions of Americans, but the facts only support one. A recent study by the nonprofit education group Brightbeam revealed that the achievement gap between black and white students is greatest in cities run by liberals. The difference is actually staggering. The study concluded that conservative cities have gaps in math and reading that are on the average 15 and 13 percentage points smaller than those in progressive cities. The study found that while liberal Minneapolis has achievement gaps upwards of 50%, some conservative enclaves like Virginia Beach and Fort Worth, Texas, have virtually extinguished the gaps. These numbers hold true in everything from math to reading. Throwing more money at the problem is not going to fix it. The same liberal cities with high achievement gaps between white and black students also spend more money per student than conservative schools. The solution is to go back to the foundations of education. We need to make sure every student can read without exception. If a student can't read, the teacher isn't doing them any favors by shuffling them on to the next grade in the hopes that they'll pick it up later. Teachers aren't the only ones to blame, though. Parents need to get involved again also. School isn't meant to be a free daycare program. It's about education. We must always keep tabs on what our children are learning and work with them when they're struggling. The liberal vision of tossing more money at the problem has clearly failed. The only way to narrow the achievement gap is to bring the conservative approach back to all of our schools.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. The liberal agenda is corrupting classrooms in colleges and schools across the country. If you're a parent, teacher, or administrator who really cares about our children, we promise to keep you informed at phyllisschlafly.com. And let us hear from you at phyllisschlafly.com. Thanks for listening, and join us again next time for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
He was backwards, use words like no sir, yes ma'am, by God.
You're listening to the Patriot Radio News Hour on this 24th day of March 2020 in the year of our Lord. And this show's brought to you by the Patriot Trading Group, 1-800-951-0592. You can get a hold of us. I'm in office now full-time, so if you want to talk to me, call. You want to order, you want some portfolio advice, if you're concerned, and I have the time, I'll love to sit down and talk with you. I'd like to thank all the people. Record order day yesterday. Joe has reactivated me, and we're doing the best we can do around here. The Dow's up 9% at 1,740, up 1,744 to 20,336. S&P up 189 at 2,427. NASDAQ up 500 points at 73.64. Gold up $84 at 16.51. Oil lagging behind, up 42 cents to $23.78 a barrel. National price of gas in this country hovering around a little over $2 a gallon. So what we have here is the hope that the trillions of dollars is going to be voted on today. The headline on Market Watch is McConnell and Pelosi say deal on coronavirus stimulus is close. And I'll tell you, if Trump turns around and caves on some of these things to get it done, and, CEO has to do that in business. You don't get your way all the time, but you want to keep the peace. And all you guys that run businesses know what I'm talking about now. Joe knows what I'm talking about. The suppliers have gone crazy. I mean, crazy in this country, and if you're working with a new company or an 888 company or an 833 company, they're not getting any gold. We've been in business a quarter century. You can't count the hundreds of millions of dollars of product that have come through this door, and they're squeezing us.
It's not that funny.
It's not funny. Joe's not laughing. I am. I've seen it a little before, but I've never seen nothing like this. So you gotta.
They actually want me to pay for a product that I haven't even bought yet.
Yeah, for next week. So, and that's why. You know why? Because people are waiting in line.
Let me tell you right now. I'm going to tell you all the truth.
We did it. Yeah.
I didn't like it.
We paid ahead. So now listen. If you want to pick up your product, you can drive by here at about 1 mile an hour, run and slide the money under the door. And then go about 100 yards away. We'll put it in a box and set it on top of the wall, and you can pick it up. That way we don't get
social distance.
We have to keep our social distancing. Well, that's the nice thing about this. You can order online. You can call 1-800-951-0592, and we'll get it out there to you. What's happening? How about this one? Joe says, well, the little people want money. Well, here's someone who's not so little. The U.S. Postal Service says they're not going to make it. They're not going to get through the summer unless Congress kicks in billions, and you know what that means, trillions, to counteract the impact of the coronavirus. Two key House members say Oversight Committee Chairwoman Carolyn Maloney, Democrat out of New York, and Chairman of Subcommittee Operations Jerry Connolly, another Democrat. They made a joint statement. The Postal Service is in need of urgent help.
See, this is the problem. It doesn't stop. So the problem that they're trying to address today, right, with the 2.5, 3 trillion, whatever it is, that doesn't count the post office. Yesterday, late last night, the mortgage service providers now need a bailout because no one's going to be paying their mortgage and they're not going to make it. And it just doesn't stop, right? I mean, every time you turn around, another company says, wait a minute, we need a bail, and then I need a bail. Well, if they need a bailout and they get a bail, I need a bail. Everybody needs a bailout.
I just got a text that says, hey, Eric, things just keep getting crazier every day. The same Hunter Thompson quote keeps rolling around in my head. When the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. I think you and Joe are the pros.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. I had an attaboy yesterday, guy. Remember, he used to play us in the service department here? So they played us on the speakers at the Dodge service department. So all the people sitting waiting to get their cars done had to listen to us on the PA system. Love those guys. He called me yesterday. He goes, thank you. I owe my entire financial education to you. We got cut off. I don't know what happened with him, but thanks for that call. One of the Dodge boys. So, how many ounces of gold to buy the Dow today, Joe? 12. Yeah, what was it up to? 18?
And falling.
You think your gold is now purchasing power starting to rise throughout the paper markets? We actually have a great special. I'm going to get this in early. Listen, there's 60 of them. We don't know how many more are coming. It's kind of like during the fuel crisis, When I was a kid, I had to pump gas. I grew up pumping gas, and I think everybody should. Full-service gas station. Had to deal with people in their cars, and, it's the same thing that the coronavirus testers are going through now. Pull up, and Jack will speak to you, So, and during the gas wars, I had to go. We were only allowed to pump so much. It was being rationed. And I had to drive back, and Mr. Bridwell is still with us. Can you believe that? Unbelievable, Mr. Bridwell here. Bridwell's Sinclair. He still owns it. How long they had it? My sister married one of the Bridwell sons.
Forever.
I think they built it in 71. It's at Lincoln and Scottsdale Road. You guys know that's my family. I'm married. My sister married into that family. The Sinclair station next to the AJ's. It's the only full-service station still. Mr. Bridwell still goes to work there. It's crazy. Crazy. But in the 70s, when I was in high school, they'd go, okay, Eric, he'd go, count off 35 cars, and we had this magnetic sign. And they were all lined up down Lincoln, and you had to put the last car magnet on it. You didn't want. There was still 50, 60, 70 cars behind it.
In other words, that was the worst job at the gas station.
And you had to stay there, because the first time I did it, I knew I put it like on a red Jaguar in Paradise Valley, and somehow it came in on a Cadillac Seville. So people kept moving it back. So you had to stand there and guard it, and I stood there with a floor jack handle and guarded the sign, and people would go crazy, and cars running out of gas. Well, now it's in the gold markets. It's in the gold markets. You hear, this is a Liberty Peace package we've got today. You can get a U.S. $20 Liberty and a U.S. roll of U.S. Peace dollars. The Peace dollars are the series after the Morgans, and we like them because a lot of people have Morgans, but these are the same silver content. They made them 21 to 35, I believe.
Yeah,
is that
22.
right? 22 to 35. So you can, and they have the exact same silver. They've got the Flying Eagle, and they're beautiful, beautiful material. We're going to throw that in. So we're just trying to help you get both. I mean, we construct portfolios. We do it for a reason. So, and I can't believe this. These are in such limited supply. So you can get a $20 gold piece, which, again, non-confiscatable, private, non-reportable, meets the minimum criteria under the U.S. TEFRA laws of 1984, which are everything that's ever been put in. Every act and everything is coming back. And under the U.S. TEFRA laws, they describe what is the minimum criteria to be a collectible and what is a bullion item. And once it's a bullion item, then you have to go back to the executive order of 1933 that decrees bullion and what they confiscated. Now, there's no way in the world they'd recall your Gold Eagles, your Krugerrands, your Maple Leafs, your Gold Bars, your British Sovereigns, your Swiss Francs. Oh, yeah, that's right. All foreign gold is in them. Mm-hmm. So, for the new money that's coming, the Amero could be gold-backed. Somebody's going to have to restore order in the world. Not the United States, but the world. Somebody is going to have real money again. And it's not Bitcoin, okay? It's not the fake gold guys. It's not the GLD. It's not the gold ETFs. It's whoever's got it, whoever has it that's interchangeable. The golden rule. So we're going to tell you how much these are. I want you to get ready. And I want you to get your credit card out because you literally may have to speed dial. So I want you to dial 1-800-951-059. Don't do anything until we get back. It's crazy, man. You're listening to Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back.
And I'm bound to keep on riding. I've got one more silver dollar, but I'm not gonna let them catch me, no. I'm gonna let them catch the midnight rider.
Yeah, that's Greg Allman from the Allman Brothers Band. God rest his soul. One more silver dollar, one last silver dollar is what it'll all come down to before we come to the end of this. You'll be glad you have them. So I'm going to put a package that we've been working on all morning. These have been procured and paid for. U.S. $20 gold piece, Liberty 1866 to 1907, private gold, private, meets the minimum criteria to be classified as collectible, and you can buy and sell them innocuously in a roll of U.S. peace dollars, $2,620.
That's with the shipping.
That's $26.20 with the shipping. Yeah, I'm sorry. Now, if you want to put it on a credit card, you got to add $50. If you have the wherewithal and the means, We're going to probably be the only company today. This will be, I want you to think long and hard about this. You've been listening to us for years. I highly recommend this. And not because I'm telling you Wall Street's going to crash, and I'm not saying that. It already has. I'm just saying that the only way out of this is through mass inflation and government money, and there's no way to cover it up. We don't have a penny. Any penny they spend goes on the national debt. You understand that? To fill up the strategic oil reserve is debt. To give anybody anything is debt. Well, gold still reacts to that. Don't kid yourself. We're not at $300 gold. All right, gold hit $1,900, pulled back to $1,100, been creeping up. So I'll tell you what, if you have a credit line that'll do 10 of them, $26,200, no credit card fee, none. So that'll get you 10 U.S. gold pieces and 200 silver dollars for 26
We may be
grand.
the only people in the country with silver. This is how long we've been in business. This is how deep our contacts run. Nobody has silver.
They're not anywhere. So, and it's not going to get any better. I mean, I don't see it getting any better for a while. I mean, ultimately, the Dow up 1,700. I hope it keeps going and going. It'll calm people down. And I'll tell you, if it doesn't, what will happen if Nancy Pelosi today, and I think the Dems are now getting set up. Don't ever underestimate how these people play on both sides of the aisle. That if the Dow goes down 1,700 at the close today and Trump comes out and says, like Tucker Carlson did last night, going, well, they want to forgive all student loan. They want to make, a mandatory air. They want to do this. They want their whole Green Deal in, and we can't vote for it. And the Dow the liberals just cost you 3,600 points off the Dow, and the country's going into a depression. Don't forget it's an election year. They won't change any of this. So if that happens, gold will double from where it's at right now. And if they ratify it, gold's going to go. I think gold will easily going to take out 10, going to go to 20 grand. There's nothing to stop it.
Look at what it's doing. It was up $83 yesterday. Right now it's up $93 today. I mean, by Friday, gold's going to be at new all-time record highs.
Well, we don't know what it's going to do, and they trade it up and down. But I can tell you, just the attrition of the U.S. Federal Reserve note through massive printing, everything's going to go up. That's why you hold this. It isn't that everything goes down. It's what happens is the money that it takes to buy a cow just keeps dropping, and it's losing its value. Is this the final stroke, the final chapter written for the Federal Reserve note? Let's face it, it's lost a lot of its purchasing power, throughout the years. I mean, and look at new Ford trucks are $100 grand. Well, Ford stock's only $4 and change.
Right.
So that shows you how many people can go out? The minimum wage in the country is $7.25. This is how they're basing their bailout package. Well, look at, at $7.25 minimum wage, we'll give you $1,000. Then you'll have your $84 a month house payment, and your $150 a month grocery payment. You're made. $1,000 doesn't get you through for Walmart with a family of 4. They got to do something. Trillions. It's going to take trillions and trillions. The president has to open up the economy. If he doesn't, he knows it. If he doesn't, and he listens to these, and there's going to be deaths. There's already been, 30,000, 50,000 flu deaths. That's the problem, is this virus hit with the flu virus. So it's tragic. Could I get it? Yeah, I'm 60 years old. I mean, I'm prime. I mean, can I get it? I could get it. I don't know. I mean, I go back to the polio example. People, they still had to move in this country. We still have to move. The economy's got to open. It has to open. If it doesn't, there's going to be anything left. There'll be nothing left. They can't just throw a switch, even at this point. They can't throw a switch and go, okay, we're open, because half people go and they go, well, I got another job, I'm doing this, I'm online, and blah, 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 blah. Now they got to rehire people, and then you've got all this medical screening that's going to be mandatory, no matter what, the new guidelines that are coming, no matter what, and whether restaurants ever allow anyone to sit down in them again, I can't answer that question. 1-800-951-0592. We had 60 of these packages. There's 37 left right now, I think. When these are gone, we don't know. They shut off trading at 2 o'clock our time yesterday.
We weren't allowed to buy an ounce of gold after 2 o'clock yesterday.
And this is because of London.
And I'm going to tell you I already got word, the exact thing is going to happen today. So this is kind of it here. So you got the $20 gold piece, the roll of silver piece dollars, $2,620 at 800-951-0592. I know some of you, all the lines were lit up the last time. If you don't get in, just keep calling back till you get in. Once you get on hold, stay on hold. We'll get to you in the order that you called, and we'll take good care of you.
We'll also, if you can pick up 10 of them, we'll waive the $500 credit card fee.
If you pick up 10 and you can put them on a credit card, we'll waive the credit card fee. Yep, great point.
We'll get them out there to you.
Yep.
So you got to have them. I mean, I said yesterday, and I still believe it. I mean, we get $20,000 an ounce gold, and you're 50 years old. You should have an ounce of gold for every year you've been alive. I got a lot of emails on that. Leslie, I know you're listening podcast. I didn't get a chance to review your or get back to you, but Leslie, long-time listener and customer here, says she has 25. So you're way ahead. Unfortunately, I guess.
Well, you're way ahead, but you're way behind.
If you're a woman, I only want you to have 29 ounces of gold. So when people ask you, what's your retirement number? Now it's going to be, how many ounces of gold you got? You go, well, I have one for every year I've been alive. 29. So, 60, so it's at 20 grand, well over $1 million. You'll be able to function. So, anyway, you're listening to A World Gone Mad. Patriot Radio News Hour. Eric Cedars from Joe Jakeman. Wendy's here. We called in Arlene. We may bring in more people to man the phones in the shipping room. God bless everybody. We appreciate the support. Final segment coming up. Final segment. Of course, you never know. One day we may say that, and it might be forever. You don't know. We don't know what's coming next. Oh, we still have a few packages left. Still have a good number of them. U.S. $20 Liberty and a roll of U.S. silver dollar piece dollars. 2620 delivered. You want to put it on a credit card, add $50 per package. If you buy 10 packages, no credit card fee. 1-800-951-0592. Got to be the best buy in U.S. real money in the country today. You can convert debt-laden credit card currency, electronic currency, into something tangible and real, and you can help support the U.S. Post Office while you're doing it.
Yeah, right.
So, you can actually do two things at once. So, I was like the Seinfeld with Kramer. Do we really need mail?
And they literally hate us every time we're at the post office.
They really do. So. Well, they never used to. They used to love it. So, but it's just the new world that's gone mad. So. Dow, let's see where we're at here. Dow's still up 1,700 at 20,311. I hope that this finds stability here and can calm people down a little bit. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to stop the rampant decline of the U.S. Federal Reserve note, which will just be regular inflation everywhere. That $100,000 Ford, after everybody gets a check, is going to be $200,000. Just what happens. Just what happens. Well, my dad used to say, if you gave everybody $1 million, which maybe, that'll be the next crisis eventually. Okay, everybody gets $1 million. So if you gave everybody $1 million, it would just be a matter of time until everybody who had money before, had all the money before, had it all again.
That's right.
So anyway, 1-800-951-0592. Again, to reiterate, just ask for the Liberty piece. How about that?
Wow, look at Boeing today. Boeing demanding the $60 billion taxpayer bailout, and they are refusing to allow the government to have an equity stake. Give us the money.
And you get nothing.
Or else.
Yeah, but you know what? All their employees are government employees. So that union, a lot of that is subsidized because of their defense contracts. So you talk about a company that they just ran straight into the ground. So, and it all started when they went up in the air and announced their new headquarters in Chicago. So,
I don't mean to laugh, but that was funny. Of all the cities
that
to
was
pick,
stupid.
Of all the cities to pick, you picked Chicago?
Wait a minute.
You didn't pick Phoenix or Texas or Florida, somewhere where at least the taxes would be better?
It's just crazy, isn't it? So, you have 3 gazillion acres, a small city at SeaTac Airport in Seattle.
The government had a lot to do with where they went.
Oh, yeah. And they announced it in the air because had they announced it on the ground, somebody might have killed them. One of those union guys would have killed them. So on the good news, the equity markets are rallying based on the huge bailout that Nancy Pelosi's going to sign. And if she doesn't sign it, which I'm kind of leaning to that camp.
Don't say that.
Leaning towards that camp. I mean, think of what's in it. It was already 1,400 pages last night. That, remember the TARP bailout? They go,
well, you got to pass it to know what's
right.
in it.
We got to pass it so we can see what's in it. So it's got to be the case. And I always ask the question, who writes these things?
That's a great question.
Who writes them? That none of the politicians know what's in it until they read it.
All the lobbyists for all the companies that need a bailout. Gold's up 90, 16.58. Silver's up 90 cents, 14.12.
I'm on the next hour and a half on 1360khnc.com. I got another hour and a half of radio, so you local people, flip on over. I'm going to stay on the air and be here for you. Call Patriot, 1-800-951-0592, and get you some. God bless everybody. Thank you so much. We're here for you, and you're here for us. We'll keep going as long as we can.